Congratulations, first of all, Cesar. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Yes. So please tell me about your winning photo. So it was off the Libyan coast, yes, and your sitter is 16. Please tell me more information about the picture.
Yeah, the picture is part of a series. It's 118 portraits of all the persons who were traveling on board of the same vessel, and they are taken minutes after they are rescued. It's in the middle of the Mediterranean on board of a rescue vessel. It's called the NGO that's owning the vessel, and the vessel is called Uenta. And I was trying to photograph this reality in a different way, so I thought it was important to give identity to the numbers that we are looking at every day. So that's why I photographed them one by one, and I asked them to give me their name, age, and country of origin in order to put them an identity.
That's perfect. I think you should be doing that, because at the minute, people just see them as numbers, but you have to see their identities behind it. So your series called Passengers, is there an array of pictures of people who were on the boat?
Yeah, it's every person who were on the same boat. Like they were 118 in that boat, and I managed to photograph all of them because they accepted. And that's.
Are you looking to expand your series at all?
This work is finished. Now I'm working on something else. I have started to follow single stories of them once they have arrived to Italy, to see what happens with them after they have arrived, because I think it's important to tell as well with what happens after with these people, and see how Europe is dealing with those ones who arrived to the European territory.
So now we can actually see the aftermath and what happened with these people's lives and how they progressed, that sort of thing. Okay. And so are you known for your photographs to be this personal, emotive journey? Is this normally what you photograph?
Sorry, it's very noisy here.
Yeah. Is this the sort of picture you
It depends on the story I'm making. I do a lot of portraits, so portraits are always about capturing the identity of someone. But in this case, I did different works, like on board of the rescue vessel. I was making a story about the NGO I was working with, or I was documenting. It's an NGO that was created by a 19-year-old boy from Berlin. He made a crowdfunding campaign to buy a rescue vessel and go to the Mediterranean to rescue people. So I was making a story about them, and at the same time I was documenting the rescues, and I was doing the documentation of how the rescues were performed and other stories, and then I did as well this series of portraits. So it depends on the story I'm making, but yeah.
So your NGO work took you there to the place, and you managed to photograph them at the same time. And normally when you photograph, you have a narrative that you want to pursue, and that's what forms a structure for your photographs. Is that correct?
Exactly. I always have to make a story. The story itself has to make sense. So this is part of a series because the idea is that I want to give this identity to the people. So the best way I want to do it was to photograph the whole body of people who were on the same boat, because it makes sense for me to do it this way, and then not pick up random people from different boats, but to say this is the whole number of people who is in the same boat. And at the same time, with the same story I was telling with the story I was making about the NGO, it's the whole body of work I was doing on that case. It was to tell that certain story. So.
And what do you think makes a great picture?
That's a very big question. It really depends. I don't know. In this case, it's composition, it's use of light, it's the story you are telling itself. You make a picture, you have to tell something. It's not that you just pick up a random thing and you photograph it. You have to know why you are photographing something, how you photograph it, and all these things make the picture good. And that's why I think this picture works, because there is a story behind. But in terms of aesthetic, let's say, in the picture, it's also a good picture, I think.
And there are photographs from all over the world. Has any of these photographs inspired you to go to a country and take people's portraits there?
You mean if there is... sorry.
A picture here that's inspired you to go to a country that you may not have thought of to go capture someone's portrait?
In this room?
Yes.
There are very beautiful pictures in this room. I cannot say because I was a bit busy in the last day, so I couldn't really concentrate on looking at all the pictures, but there are really nice stories in the whole room. I cannot really tell.
Do you have any tips for aspiring photographers?
Work hard. That's a big question as well. I don't know. What I know what I had to do is that you need to keep all the time moving and thinking, and you have to realize that photographs are at the end a kind of art that need to be trained, and you have to all the time try to find new ideas, try to find a way to do something different, but at the same time something important, and realize that pictures are like, you need to know what you photograph and why you photograph it, and you have to make all those questions to yourself before you photograph something. I don't know.
Thank you so much. Finally, last question. What are you going to do with the prize money?
Invest it in new projects, because I work as a freelancer and it's not easy to do it this way. So this kind of prizes help to like keep working on something I like, and I do it because I love it. And I think there are many stories to tell that with this money I will be able to work at them. So hopefully I will manage to do it along the next year.
Well, fantastic. I expect more things from the future then. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.